Hey, what's up, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? It's been a minute. It's been a good old minute. Been a good old minute. What's good, everybody? How you guys doing? It's raining where I am. It's kind of cold, so I got a bit of a cough that I'm trying to get rid of. Man, it feels good to be live again. It's been a minute. Candace, what's good? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. So y'all know the process, man. Make sure y'all hit the likes. Let's give everybody some time to come on in today. We're going to have a good live. We haven't done a live in quite some time, so today is going to be a lot of fun. Marco's also here with us. He's what is it? Marco's actually on the road right now, but he's here with us. He's here in the live. So say what's good to Marco. And let's give it a few minutes and let's allow everybody to catch up. I know it's been a while since we've done one of these lives for the playoffs. It's like everybody just kind of fell off the earth since since the Clippers and these teams went out. So I can understand the disappointment. So we're going to give it a little bit and allow everybody to catch up to this live right here. I see we got some people in here already getting it going with these comments. Nobody cares. You must be a Buck fan. Okay. I see we got some people that are pretty. Amelia, how you doing, man? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Kedu, good to see you. Good to see you. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? So let's give it a little bit. Make sure you guys hit the likes. I'm sure some people are going to check in. We'll give it a few minutes, and then obviously people will catch up to the live. We've never really talked about the Bucks and the Suns like that. So today is a bit of an experiment for us. So we're going to wait a few minutes and then see how people are doing, and then we're gonna get it started. Bolo, what's good? How you doing, man? Welcome in. Malik, what's good? How you guys doing? I'm see people. How was the vacation? Oh, we're not on vacation, man. We just been strategizing, been doing some other things, and the playoffs, the season is kind of really slowing down. I don't really think anything is going to happen up until free agency starts up again. So that's when I think we're going to start getting some news, and that's like in another month, in another 3 weeks. Once players start going into the free agent market, I think things will start ramping up once you start signing players. But for now, I think with the finals and the way everything is going down right now, I don't think a lot of people are that interested. Exactly. The finals are really boring right now. So I don't think a lot of people are that interested. And you can tell by the reception. So we're going to give it like another 2 minutes or so. Make sure you guys hit the likes and then people will catch up. They'll catch up as they do. But we've been kind of contemplating. It was good from Inglewood. Yeah, we've been contemplating on whether or not we should do a live. We've been thinking about it. We posted a poll on Instagram where some people saw it. So we were like, hey, why not? We also got another video coming out today. As you guys see, we've been mixing up the content. We'll be hitting you guys with a lot of heat. So we got another video coming out later today, later this evening that you guys definitely want to make sure you go ahead and check out. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy that video. So that video is dropping a little bit later. NBA ratings are going. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the NBA ratings. I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. Not in a few minutes, later on in this live, because I got some stuff I want to talk about that. I got some notes regarding that. So we definitely going to get into that. Let's just give it about another minute or so, and then we'll get started. And obviously people will catch up to the live. So we give it like another minute. And make sure you guys check in where you're coming in from. Gio, he said the Sun. How we're just reading about the ESPN putting LeBron name incorrectly on the stats during the game. Okay, I didn't hear about that. I didn't see that. ESPN has been going through their own thing. So the whole story going on there with Maria Taylor, and then we just heard that what's his name? That Stephen A. Smith, we just found out is making $12 a year, and some people are feeling the type of way about that, and all of these different things. So as you can see right now, the things that people are talking about are not really sports related, because right now basketball is just kind of boring. The NFL season is not here right now, so nobody's really interested in what's going on right now, but you still got to cover it. The Bucks winning would stamp Giannis greatness with more ring. CP3 and other more ring would do more. I absolutely agree. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If Giannis Antetokounmpo wins this title, Giannis has a better career. What do you call it? I mean, Chris Paul has an amazing career, but Giannis, a title would do wonders for him. Just focus on. But now I don't know boxing. I don't follow boxing that much. I know Conor McGregor had a big fight yesterday, but I don't follow MMA and and these different sports, so I don't follow that. So I don't know. I don't follow it that well, so I don't know enough about it to talk about it. Hey, .0. Make sure you guys hit the likes. All right, so real quick before we get started, make sure you guys hit the likes. We're also going to be doing shout outs on Instagram towards the end of the live. So if you guys want to follow us on Instagram, you guys can follow us out there. But just real quick, I know the internet has been a pretty interesting place over the last few weeks now, seeing a lot of crazy stuff happening. I think it's very simple. If you don't like what you see, change the channel. Like, it's that simple, man. Like, there's nobody. I block channels on YouTube that I don't want to see, channels I don't click on. I tell YouTube I'm not interested in watching it. I'm not spending a second of my time to go watch something I don't like. I have better things to do in my life, and you should too. So if you're not feeling the content, man, just roll out and keep it pushing, man. It's not that deep. You don't no need to waste your time, man. You're not getting any bread doing that. But anyway, so let's get into it here. And then make sure you guys hit the likes as we get going. So let's get into it here. So as I said, we're finally back now. We're going to do a live today and see how it does. And then if people want more of it, we'll do it. But as I said, as you know, we got other content coming out anyway. So we the channel is going to grow regardless. Also, I want to thank you guys for continuing to support the channel, for helping us get to 16,000 plus subs. Looks like we're on our way to 20,000 subscribers, and who knows, we will finish off at the end of the year. But thank you guys for that support. Glad to see the channel growing, even though the season is quite boring right now. So thank you guys for that. But anyway, so going into these finals, I got to be honest. I was very, very disappointed. Like most people, I was very disappointed. I felt that it should have been the Clippers represent the Western Conference. I think most people feel that way. Maybe there's also a segment of people out there that probably feel like the Lakers should be represent the Western Conference. But for sure, I'm sure a lot of people felt like it should either be the Clippers or the Lakers. But due to injuries, not just to the Clippers and to the Lakers, but so many teams in the Western Conference, I think we're getting like a watered down finals. But here we are. Like, so many teams got injured in the playoffs. If you think about injured players, Jamal Murray, Kawhi Leonard, even Donovan Mitchell to one extent, Anthony Davis. And it's just like, this is not even exciting to watch, right? To be quite honest with you. But here we are. After the first two games of this series, I'm not going to lie to you guys. We posted a poll on the channel, and we noticed that these polls have been doing pretty good on the channel recently. We've been posting a lot of polls, and these polls have been getting a lot of feedback. People have been really voting on these polls and all of this. I've seen people have been really, really giving some feedback. To be honest with you, after the first two games, I thought this series was going to be over. Like, let me just be honest. I thought this series was going to be over. I didn't think the Bucks were going to make it a competitive series, to be quite honest with you. One of the reasons I felt that way was because I just didn't trust the Bucks coaching. From a coaching standpoint, I just didn't trust this team. I didn't. I thought that this team made some boneheaded decisions. We did a post that we did on Dreamerspro Max about a few weeks ago where I said I'm surprised that people are surprised in the Milwaukee Bucks that they make a lot of boneheaded plays, man. Even something that Shannon Sharp has pointed to. One example of that, just go back to the previous round in the Eastern Conference Finals when they were playing against the Atlanta Hawks. Look at the defensive schemes that they were using against the Atlanta Hawks with the drop coverages that they were using against them. You're like, what kind of game plan are these guys using? Like, I didn't understand why they weren't showing hard on those pick and rolls. You see you'll have these size mismatches, and then it'll start jacking up threes. I just didn't understand a lot of the stuff that the Bucks were doing. I felt like they didn't take advantage of the matchups that they had out there. And just because the Milwaukee Bucks were the number 5 shooting team as far as three-point shooting percentage in the NBA in the regular season, I felt like they just simply felt like they needed to shoot threes even though they had mismatches on the floor. And I just didn't understand it. I didn't think it was a very smart basketball team. So when I saw them go down, lose the first two games, I didn't think they were going to have a shot to come back in this series, to be quite honest with you. And to be honest with you, I feel like the Milwaukee Bucks were making the the Phoenix Suns look better than they actually are. Like, I really feel that way. I think it was in game 1 or in game 2. I heard Mark Jackson come out there and say, "Oh, you can really tell right now that given the way these two teams are playing, you can really tell that these are the best. These are the two best teams in the NBA Finals. Like, we're going to be in for a treat." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? These are the two best teams in the NBA Finals." Now, I think the only reason Mark Jackson said that was because he was covering the game for ABC. And he had to make it, I think Mark Jackson had to make the game more credible. So he's like, yeah, but in reality, everybody knows that this is not the series we're all expecting. Like, let's be honest. Kevin Durant damn near beat the Milwaukee Bucks by himself. Kyrie Irving was not healthy. James Harden was not healthy. So what are you talking about when you're like, "Oh yeah, we're definitely watching"? Like, no, we're not. You're the only one that feels this way. So I was surprised that Mark Jackson had to say that about the series. But anyway, let's get into the game. So last night, going into the game, in that first quarter, the Suns, I gotta hand it to the Suns. The Phoenix Suns came out and they looked very steady and they looked very poised. They played under control, and they were actually able to withstand the first shot that the Milwaukee Bucks, the early punches that the Milwaukee Bucks threw at them. They looked prepared, and they looked like they were ready to play. The Phoenix Suns only had one turnover in the first quarter, just one turnover. Think about that, on the road. They only had one turnover, and DeAndre Ayton, I gotta say, he was dominant in that first quarter. He was dominant. He scored 12 big points, and he was at the heart of the attack for the Phoenix Suns. Devin Booker and Chris Paul, they played decent. They played pretty well. They were able to combine for 11 points in that first quarter. And to be quite honest with you, in that first quarter, the Milwaukee Bucks, they looked undecisive. They looked like they weren't really sure of exactly what they wanted to do, to be quite honest with you. They looked like they were just like, okay, are we going to shoot threes? Are we going to run the offense through Giannis? Are we going to run it through Chris Middleton? Are we going to go through Drew Holiday? It just looked like they were undecisive. One of the reasons why I said I don't trust that team and I don't trust the coach, right? The obvious plays, they are so hesitant to make it. Hey, how you doing? I was just like, after watching that first quarter, I'm like, okay, these guys are going to lose. But in the second quarter, things started to change for the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo started to dominate. He scored 11 points in that second quarter. Chris Middleton started to come on. He scored 8 points. And I got to ask the question about Chris Middleton. I think Chris Middleton is an all-star, but I think that's all he is. I don't think Chris Middleton is like this. Like, he's good, but he's very inconsistent. So it's just something I want to touch on, because I know he showed up yesterday, but the day before that, he didn't really show up. But yesterday, he also showed up in that second quarter. He scored 8 points, and the Suns just went cold. They simply went cold in that second quarter. And Devin Booker, who I'm going to get to a little bit later, he certainly didn't help. The Milwaukee Bucks ended up outscoring the Suns 35-17 points in the second quarter, and at the half, the Bucks were up 15 points. And at the half, once they got to the half point mark of that game, I was like, do I really need to watch the rest of this game? But then, of course, knowing that it's the Milwaukee Bucks, you know that they're always going to give their opponents a second chance. You knew this, because they're going to get up by 15 and they're going to go out there and start doing a whole bunch of boneheaded plays that nobody really understands. So we get to the second half. And in that second half, the Phoenix Suns, they come out with a flurry, and they start cutting that lead. But then Drew Holiday started to hit some big shots. Drew Holiday in that third quarter hit 4 out of 5 3-point shots in that third quarter. If Drew Holiday doesn't hit those threes, I'm not sure the Milwaukee Bucks are able to hold on to that lead, because they were starting to make a run. I think Devin Booker hit a 3. Chris Paul hit a 3. Jay Crowder was hitting threes for them in that third quarter. But it didn't look like, if he didn't hit those timely threes, I thought they were going to take the lead over the Bucks. So once Drew Holiday started hitting those threes, I think Giannis Antetokounmpo finally said, you know what, to hell with it. And Giannis Antetokounmpo just went off in that third quarter. And he showed you why he's definitely one of the top 5, top 10 best players in the world. He scored 16 points in the third, got you 4 rebounds and 2 assists. And the most important part, which finally let me know that the Milwaukee Bucks were starting to play with their head, was that Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't even attempt 1 3-point shot in the third. It lets you know that at that point, Giannis finally realized that nobody can guard him when he's going to the basket. Nobody can guard him. And once he understood that, he started taking advantage of his size. Giannis, there's no individual defender. Probably DeAndre Ayton is probably their best player that they have that can guard Giannis one-on-one. But other than that, there's no individual defender that the Phoenix Suns have that you can put on him to stop him. He scored 16 points in the third, and I was like, okay, this guy is on a mission here. And I knew he was serious when he didn't attempt any 3-point shots in that third quarter. Let me see somebody. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Welcome back. Yeah, we're just doing a live today, man. We decided to mix it up. We just decided to mix it up. We were like, why not give it a shot? Again, for the people that came in a little bit later in this live, we have another video dropping later on in the channel today. You trust me, you guys don't want to miss that video. I'm sure it's going to piss a lot of people off, but I think it's going to be a good debate, and I'm sure you guys are definitely going to enjoy this video. So in that third quarter, the Milwaukee Bucks almost put up basically 40 points and outscored the Suns 38 to 31 points in that third quarter. By the time the game got to the fourth quarter, the Suns looked like they were waving the white flag. Okay. And Giannis Antetokounmpo kept on giving them buckets. The dude finished the game with 41 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. And I think probably one of the most impressive things about that stat line is that he only had 1 turnover. Just 1 turnover. It shows you that Giannis was very decisive. He knew exactly what the heck he wanted to do out there. He was making his free throws. And Giannis became the second player since Shaq to have a 40-point game and 10-plus rebound game in back-to-back games in the NBA Finals. The last person to do that was Shaq. And I think I heard somewhere that they said Shaq came out and said that Donovan Mitchell, no, not Donovan, that he said Giannis Antetokounmpo is better than him. That's what I think I heard. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit the like button, guys. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit the like button. So I think he became the other player since Shaq, the only other player since Shaq to have a 40-point double-double, a 40-point game with 10-plus rebounds in back-to-back games in the NBA Finals. And I didn't even know that. First of all, I didn't even know Shaq put up those type of numbers in the finals in consecutive games. And then you find out in the post-game conference, I'm definitely going to take some jabs. In the post-game, when they interview Giannis and they told him about it, he goes, and they go, yeah, Giannis, and you know that the only other player that's done this more than you is Michael Jordan, who had 4 straight 40-point games in the finals. And Giannis was like, I'm not Michael Jordan. He goes, he had 4 40-point games in the finals back in a row. And he was like, God, and hey, that's why, this is why Michael Jordan is the GOAT. This is why he the GOAT. We've done some videos. We recently did some videos about Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan's not even my favorite player of all time, but I'm just giving it up to him because he's the best player. Like, in my opinion, he's the best player. And right after him, I have Kareem. But yet again, this is another stat line that once again proves that Michael Jordan was the ultimate performer in basketball in the biggest game. He was the greatest performer in basketball. Like, let's just be honest. So I thought that was another reason to show you why Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And now, let me get to Devin Booker. We did a poll yesterday. We posted on the channel about Devin Booker. And we asked a simple question. Who is the better player? And the decision was the Suns are the weakest team to come out of the West. I can't watch this. I agree. Man. The Suns are weak, man. Like, anyway, I agree. Thanks for that, Candace. And the poll was, who is better, Devin Booker or Paul George? And I think 70% of the people voted for Paul George. My question is, those 30% people, the 30% that voted for Devin Booker, what are y'all basing that off of? Is it because he's light-skinned? Is it because he got a nice haircut? Is it because he wears Jordan shoes? I mean, Kobe shoes? Like, what do you, okay, he's better than Paul George. Okay, how? Based on what? Like, remove your feelings out of it. If we're comparing their resumes, what are we talking about? You know what it sounds like? It sounds like this. It sounds like one guy saying, hey, man, I'm richer than you. This guy's a millionaire. And the other guy goes, no. I'm richer than you. He's not a millionaire, but he goes, I'm richer than you in spirit and in happiness. I'm richer than you. When in reality, that dude got $1 million in his bank. The other dude, oh, no. I know you may have $1 million, but I'm richer than you in my spirit. And it's like, what are we talking about here? People are talking about Devin Booker and Paul George. When did that happen? Like, so what's the thing that what's his resume that shows you that he's better than Paul? So I didn't understand that. That's the first thing. People are talking about Paul George doesn't show up under pressure. 10 points in the NBA Finals, and you talking about Paul George? If y'all got names for Pandemic P, we got to come up with a name for Devin Booker, man. I'm just being honest. That's the first part. The second part is this. Some people are going to feel like this is a roast. No. This is me keeping it real. Devin Booker in an NBA Finals game, an all-star player in an NBA Finals game scores 10 points in an NBA Finals game. 10 points. 10 points in an NBA Finals game. 10. The last person I saw, and it's not no disrespect, because he's redeemed himself since. The last person I saw to do that was LeBron James. I think LeBron scored 6 points in the finals, or was it 9 or 6? But LeBron James has gone on to redeem himself since. That was the last player I ever saw do something like that. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because there's been a lot of talk in the media that Devin Booker is similar to Kobe Bryant. Please show me the game in an NBA Finals, in the 7 NBA Finals appearances that Kobe Bryant went to. Show me the game where he scored 10 points. Show me the game where his coach had to bench him for an entire fourth quarter. What's the game? Where's the game that happened at? Where's the game that Kobe Bryant scored 10 points in the final? Where's that game? When the season matters the most, when you got the Mamba mentality, he must be like a garden snake, because this ain't no Mamba. This like a garden snake, man. This ain't no black Mamba. Because in the biggest games of the regular season, you score 10 points and dudes is out there talking about he's better than Paul George? What? And you're talking about you want to compare him to Kobe Bryant? Like, yo, we got to kill all of that. And I'll tell you why I'm taking this thing so seriously. I'll tell you why I take this thing so seriously. I remember when LeBron James, I think he had won at this time maybe 1 title or 2. I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. Because he won his first title with the Miami Heat and his second one with the Miami Heat. I remember that. And I remember Skip Bayless getting so offended that people would put LeBron James in the same breath as Michael Jordan, who had 6 NBA championships, 6 finals MVPs. And he was like, this dude does not even deserve to be in the same sentence with Michael Jordan. Somebody that three-peated twice. Not once, twice. Kobe and Shaq combined only three-peated once. And those two players are considered top 10 players in NBA history. And they got you 1 three-peat. Jordan was a part of 2. And I remember Skip Bayless feeling very, very offended. Like, how dare you? And he had a point. Why? Because he hadn't earned those props. It's only now when LeBron finally got 4 titles and 4 finals MVPs that people are even beginning to entertain a conversation. Only now, because LeBron actually has the hardware to prove it, to say, wait a minute, I have a good enough resume to at least be considered one of the best players of all time. At least that's plausible. That's a plausible argument. But in the case of Devin Booker, this dude has never even made one all NBA team, and y'all are talking about he reminds you of Kobe? What are we talking about? And people are up here seriously talking about, oh, he reminds you of Kobe. What about him reminds you of Kobe? I think it's just disrespectful to talk about he reminds you of Kobe. No, he doesn't. You don't get to accomplish nothing and feel as if you get to be compared to people that have accomplished. It don't work like that. You got to actually go through the process. You got to earn it. It's not about, oh, this dude, and I'll give you guys a story. Make sure you guys hit the likes. I see we got an intimate live today. We don't got that many people, but it's an intimate live. So I'm going to take my time with it. I'm going to give you guys a story. It's not disrespect. I told myself I'm not going to read some of these comments. So anyway, I'm going to give you guys a story. I remember one day I was talking to my dad. And I was talking to my dad, and I asked him, I think he was, what was it? He needed me to go pick up my grandmother from somewhere. She was in another country. And it was like a last minute thing. And I said to him, he was talking about getting me a plane ticket. I said, okay, cool. And I said to him, because my grandmother was going to fly back and she's older. So I was going to fly back with her. And she had a business class ticket because she's old. She's an older woman. So you can't just put her in a regular seat. So I asked him, I said, oh, are you going to get me a business class seat to go to get her? And the look that he gave me, he gave me a look as if to say, what's wrong with you? And then he says, what makes you feel like you deserve that? He said, you haven't earned it. He goes, why are you always trying to look for the easy way out and skip steps? He said, what makes you feel you deserve that? You're sitting here, you don't deserve, and you're asking me for this? And I was like, God damn. But he had a point. You didn't earn those stripes, so you don't get the benefit to be compared to dudes like that. If the greatest NBA players in NBA history were in a club and there was a VIP section and they had 4 sections of Jordan and them and Kobe and LeBron and them and all that, Devin Booker don't get to walk up in that VIP. Nah, bro, you got to stand outside. You got to stand outside because these dudes actually accomplished something. You don't get to sit down at this table and start talking with us because you haven't accomplished anything. You haven't. So if you haven't accomplished anything, what makes you feel like as if you need to be compared to dudes like that? And I get it. So when people are talking about, oh, no, he don't. Let the guy accomplish something before we start talking about, oh, this dude is this dude and this dude. Nah, we got to cut that out. So that's my thoughts on Devin Booker. You actually got to go through the process. I'm going to go off a little bit for here and I'm going to get back to the game. I watched some videos on YouTube in our niche. I see some of the content. Nobody wants to go through the process. Some people have been with us here. We've been on YouTube for now what? This is our third year. This is our third year. And it's really just this year we're starting to get traction. Just this year. We've been in this thing for 2 years. We didn't put our head down. We didn't cut any corners. You just put in the work. You put in the work, and over time, you're going to be rewarded for your hard work. But you got to understand you got to pay your dues. Everybody does. Everybody got to pay their dues. Every single body. Especially if you're a guy. Especially if you're a guy. Ladies, in some cases, they have a little bit easier, depending on certain social, the ways culture is structured. But if you're a guy, you got to go through the process. You got to. You got to suffer. Any successful entrepreneur you can think of went through the process. Anyone. Jay-Z, I think he started rapping at 26. Jay-Z didn't go at 26 and at 29, he was the billionaire Jay-Z. No, it took him 20 freaking years. Name all of them. Kanye West, P. Diddy, Michael Jordan. Everybody got to go through a process. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that we see out there, especially in YouTube, but a lot of guys making content. I just got to say it, and I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna move on to the next thing. A lot of dudes are lazy. A lot of dudes are lazy, and I just want to say that it's very transparent. A lot of dudes are lazy. Dudes just want to jump to the bag. I see it. It's clear as day. A lot of dudes are lazy. Don't put no effort into their work, no effort into their thumbnails, no effort into their content. Just sit up there and just start talking and expecting 200,000 subscribers. It don't work like that. Just put it out there. A lot of dudes are lazy, and you can see through it. I just wanted to put that out there. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Exactly. You don't get to sit at that table and nobody wants to put in the work. A lot of dudes, I got to say, it is lazy. And I think it's a shame because, you have to go through the process, especially if you're a guy, because dude, you got to earn it. But anyway, back to the game. I think it was a very good win for the Bucks. However, I'm still not confident that they're going to win game 4. To be quite honest with you, I'm not confident that the Milwaukee Bucks win game 4. You know why? Because I don't trust in their coach. Budenholzer, I don't trust in him. This guy for whatever reason, I don't understand why the Bucks have this kind of thing where they feel like they always have to take threes. They'll be passing up easy layups, shots at the basket to take threes. And you have a size advantage. If you're 6'11", 6'10", 7 foot, and you're out there shooting threes, you're taking away your size as an advantage. You're taking that away. So I don't trust in the coach, and I'm not sure that they're going to win game 4. Hopefully they win game 4 because I want them to make this series more interesting. I think if they win game 4 and they tie the series at 2-2, then I think it becomes more interesting. You know why? To get to Candace's point, because the NBA Finals ratings are bad. They're bad right now. They're bad. Let me give you guys the numbers for the NBA Finals. You guys can check it out here. I'm going to post it right here in the comment section. You guys can check out the NBA Finals ratings. I just posted them right there. You guys can check it out. You can go there and read it for yourselves. But anyway, the NBA Finals this year, if we're going back 2 years, in the bubble, actually, people hated the Orlando bubble. Okay, because the year prior, when it was the Toronto Raptors and the Golden State Warriors in the finals, game 1 had 15 million people that watched. Game 2 was 13.5. Then 14 million in game 3, 13 million in game 4. Game 5 had 18 million people, and then game 6 had another 18 million. In the Orlando bubble last year, game 1 had 7 million viewers. Game 2 had 7.4, 6 million, 6 million, 7.5, 8 million, and 8 points. People didn't watch the NBA Finals last year. This year in game 1, 9 million people watched. So it's 1.5 million up from last year. But if you compare it to 2 years ago when it was a regular season, those are horrible numbers. Game 2 was 8.5. Game 3 was 9.3, 9.4. So these finals are actually bad news for the NBA, for the NBA's. They're bad. People don't want to watch. And it's telling you that I think because so many players got injured during these playoffs that people just lost interest in the NBA. I can tell by these lives. Look at them. Look at the amount of people that we have in our lives. On a normal given day, we'll have about 500-600 people or 700 people if we're doing a live. Now it's only 100 people, and I completely understand that because people are just disinterested in the NBA Finals. One of the reasons you see us making different type of content to keep people engaged. We're not going to be making the same old content because people are not stupid. You got to make something that's interesting for people to watch. People want to watch something interesting, not the same old. But this year, the finals, I got to say, is terrible. And if I'm the NBA and I have these TV deals with ABC, ESPN, because remember, these guys are paying the NBA to show these games, right? I would be a little bit disappointed. I would be very disappointed because I'm paying you all this money in hopes that these advertisers are going to be able to run their ads and show it to these people. And you can't even get me 10 million people to watch per game when just 2 years ago, you were getting me 15 to 16 million on average. So the NBA is actually losing money this year. Now, I don't know if this is going to affect them next year, but this year they're actually losing money. And what it seems like is this. It seems as if, well, a few things. Number one, they're going to go back to a conventional season next year. That's number one. Number two, I saw an episode on The Odd Couple on Fox Sports with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. One of the shows I do watch. I like those guys because I think they're one of the last. I think Chris Broussard and Rob Parker are very straightforward. I like them. I like them. Now, sometimes Charles, what is it? No, just a second here. Yeah, I'm seeing 30. I'm seeing 31 million. I'm not sure where you see that 35 in Game 7. I'm seeing 31. But anyway, sometimes Rob Parker tends to troll sometimes, but nevertheless, I do like their show. And they were doing a segment on load management. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like as if load management actually is not working. It looks like as if load management is not working. It's not working. I think a lot of people felt as if it was working, but it's not. By the way, if Marco's watching this live, I think he is. I got to throw this out too. I did a paper because Marco and I went to college together. I did a paper and I felt like I did a paper a number of years ago. And the paper was based, I don't remember the paper exactly, but I remember the professor, he was pretty stupid. And the paper was, I forgot his name. What's this guy's name? Oh my God, I forgot anyway, the paper was on, I thought that as we're getting technologically advanced, especially medically, I feel like we're going backwards. And then, this is like 4 years ago, it seemed like a controversial notion, but help me understand something. With all of the advances in medicine, in training, and all of these guys, players are getting injured more today than they were before. So what is going on? And I think one of the reasons for this is something that Giannis Antetokounmpo spoke about when they were asking him, how were you able to come back from your injury so fast? And I think he made an important point. The point he made was, he said, I kept on telling myself, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I don't feel pain. I don't feel injuries. I don't feel pain. I don't feel pain. I'll be strong. I'll be this. I'll be that. I'll be this. I'll be this. Right? And I think the story you tell yourself, the story your mind tells your body dictates what ultimately happens to your body. I think people don't pay enough of attention to psychology. The things that we tell ourselves, if you tell yourself, I always have to rest, I have to rest, I have to rest, your body gets used to that. You condition, once your mind is conditioned, your body gets conditioned afterwards. And I think these players we've conditioned them to feel like, oh, you have to rest. Oh, you have to rest. And guess what? Whenever they're pushed beyond what their bodies are used to, They get injured. Giannis Antetokounmpo has no business being out there playing. If that was Kawhi Leonard, I got to say, Kawhi Leonard is my favorite player. If that was Kawhi Leonard, he'll be gone. Kawhi is my favorite player. But I got to be honest, Kawhi Leonard is not tough. Like, he's not durable. And I think a lot of it has to do with mentality. Players before were actually more durable than players today. Ask yourself, how is it possible that all these players before, a generation before, were playing more games, not having all those private jets, with more travel, not all of these expensive hotels and all of this stuff, yet they're playing more. And now players have all of these medical facilities, all of these different things, and now players are being injured more. I personally believe that there's a segment out there of a medical group that's stealing a lot of money from these NBA teams. I'm sorry to say it. It may be an inflammatory thing to say, but if I'm one of these team owners, you got to explain to me, if I'm cutting a check and we have a medical department and our yearly payroll is $3 million a month or $2.5 million a month or whatever it is a year, and I'm paying my medical department $15 million a year, whatever it is, and my players are always injured, you got to explain to me, why are my players always injured? All of the medicine, all the medical jargon that you guys are using, it's not adding up because all of my guys are always injured. So I'm paying you all this money. Deuce, what's good? I'm paying you all this money, yet you're injured. And we got to make sense of this thing. So it looks like load management is not working. As far as Kawhi Leonard, somebody asked why is Kawhi Leonard. So Kawhi Leonard is my favorite player. Let me just say this. The reason I say this is I've seen other players play with some pretty tough injury. Looking at Giannis, I didn't think Giannis was going to come back. The reason I say that is because I believe Greg Popovich and these guys conditioned Kawhi Leonard to where he felt like playing back-to-backs was a crime. It was like something bad was going to happen. It was just this year that Ty Lue was able to get Kawhi Leonard to be playing back-to-backs. It was a big thing for Kawhi Leonard to play back-to-back. You know the NBA is in a scary place when it becomes a big deal when players are playing back-to-back. And Rob Parker had a very good solution, and I think it's a good one. He said because he believes that some players are purposefully sitting out games when they're perfectly able to play. So he said, if a player sits out a game that he doesn't want to play, he said it should register in the box score that all of your stats say 0 across the board. Every game you miss that you could have played, it should register 0. Once it starts affecting your percentages, then you said you'll see more players playing. Now, is that an extreme thing to do? Probably so. But I just wonder, because players are being paid way more, and it's not their fault. The fact that players are being paid more is not their fault. It's what the market says they're worth. And a lot of that has to do with the revenue sharing that they have in the NBA. Remember, the Players Association and the NBA, they have a system where they revenue share. I don't know what the breakdown is. I don't know what it is. I think it's 41, 51. I don't remember the break, but it's very close. So they have that. So the players are ultimately going to get paid more because of those TV deals. The NBA generates a lot of its revenue from those TV deals. Although I think, 40% of their revenue, if it's not 40 or 35% or 40%, comes from attendance in the arenas. That I do know from my research. So it's not the players' fault that they're being played, that they're playing so much, that they're being paid so much. It's just the way things are structured. However, Michael Jordan, the only year Michael Jordan earned over $25 million was in 1998. John Wall will earn more this year than Michael Jordan earned in his last year with the Chicago Bulls. Put that into perspective. John Wall will earn more than Michael Jordan did in the last year of his contract with the Chicago Bulls. Now, is he earning that $40 million because he's better than Michael Jordan? Hell no. But it's the contract that he was able to sign. Look at James Harden. James Harden is an amazing player. But James Harden kind of has this energy that he doesn't care. The minute they lost, James Harden's in Paris right now. He's been in Paris. So I think something is wrong there, but there's nothing you can do because it's not their faults. If it happens, if you're a construction worker, right? And you work at a construction site and you're an engineer, a civil engineer, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, a normal salary for a civil engineer is $120,000 and something happens, and that goes from $120,000 to $250,000 a year, you're not going to say, wait a minute, I'm doing the same amount of work, or I'm even doing less, so why are you paying me more? Hell no, you're going to take it. Does it mean you deserve it? Well, not really. It's just that the market said that civil engineers are worth more now. So that's the reason why that NBA players are being paid so much money. But this load management thing is an issue. I think is an issue, and something needs to be done with it going into next season, because I don't know what's going to happen, right? I don't know what's going to happen. But as far as the regular season is, as far as these playoffs are concerned, hopefully the Milwaukee Bucks win Game 4. Hopefully they make it more interesting, but I don't think people are interested. Look at the number of people in this live, and I totally get it. Because to be quite honest with you, it's not interesting. Who wants to see the Bucks and the Suns except people from the Milwaukee Bucks fans and Phoenix Suns fans? People that those are the only people that want to see these two teams in the finals. So, in my opinion, that's my take on everything, and that's my feedback. So today I said we'll probably touch on it. Given the numbers that we got today, I know we only got 100 people. We might not do another one. We probably just stick to other videos because our other videos are doing much better than this video than these lives right now, because it's not interesting. Maybe when free agency starts and we get some real interesting news, then we'll probably start doing lives again. But I completely understand it. But real quick, if you guys also make sure you follow us on Instagram. Let me give you our Instagram here. I'm gonna give you a shout out real quick, because on Instagram we also do some updates on there. So I'm gonna post that right here. Let me post that right here, our Instagram right here, and let me pin this here. So make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. We also do updates there. If you guys got any questions, we also answer some questions on Instagram. So make sure you guys follow us there. I'll give you a shout out. If you okay, we pinned that to the top right there, so you guys can follow us there. Bucks for the yeah, I would like to see the Milwaukee Bucks win. Actually, I wouldn't be mad if Giannis Antetokounmpo won this NBA final. I wouldn't be mad, actually, because he's a hell of a player. He works really, really hard. He's improved his game. We did a video on what's his name? On Giannis Antetokounmpo and Ben Simmons like 2 years ago. And I said Giannis has been improving over time. Ben Simmons stayed the same. So Giannis is somebody that's been improving, and I wouldn't be mad if I saw him win an NBA Finals. I'm not gonna lie to you. So anyway, we posted it there. Make sure you guys make sure you go ahead and follow us on Instagram. Again, thank you guys for being a part of this live, and also be on the lookout for Ion. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for following us, Ion Golo. Thank you for following us, and make sure you be on the lookout for a video we got coming out later today. I'm sure you guys are definitely going to enjoy it. It's going to spark a lot of debate on the channel. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. Also, make sure you don't watch things that piss you off, man. If you're not feeling somebody or something, don't watch it. Don't let nothing mess with your energy, man. And just be cool. And just be cool. So anyway, catch you guys on the next live. We're not sure when we're going to go live next, but definitely stay tuned for the videos because we're definitely going to be dropping videos every day. Catch you guys later and have a good one. Catch you guys later. All right, peace.